I still remember the day everything changed. My mom, who had always been the rock of our family, the one who remembered every birthday, organized every holiday, and somehow kept track of everyone's doctor appointments, called me in a panic because she couldn't find her car keys. They were in her hand. That was 5 years ago, and I can tell you now that finding those keys was the easiest challenge we would face. If you're watching this, chances are you've had your own moment, that instant when you realized your parents were getting older and needed your help. Maybe it was a fall, a forgotten appointment, or simply noticing they couldn't do things they once did effortlessly. That role reversal. It hits hard. When our parents start needing us instead of the other way around, it triggers a complex mix of emotions. For me, it started with denial. My dad had always been this larger-than-life figure who could fix anything. The first time I had to help him up from a chair, I made a joke about it. We both laughed, but later that night, I cried in my car before driving home. That's something nobody really prepares you for, the grief that comes while your parents are still here. You're mourning the loss of who they were while simultaneously trying to support who they're becoming. And that's okay. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or even angry sometimes. One thing I've learned through my own journey, and from the thousands of fellow boomers I've connected with through this channel, acknowledging these feelings isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can't effectively care for someone else if you're emotionally depleted. Many of us are sandwiched between caring for aging parents and supporting our own children or grandchildren. According to recent studies, over 40 million Americans are providing unpaid care to an adult over 65, most of them while balancing other responsibilities. You're not alone in feeling stretched thin. The hardest conversations are often the most important ones. Talking to your parents about their changing needs, finances, and future plans isn't easy, especially when they've always been independent. I put off talking to my mom about her memory lapses for months. I told myself it wasn't that bad, that she was just getting older. But deep down, I knew we needed to address it. When we finally did, it was because she forgot to turn off the stove and nearly started a fire. Here's what I wish I'd known earlier. These conversations go better when they happen before a crisis forces your hand. Start small. Instead of saying, "Mom, I think you need help," try, "I've been reading about these new services that help people stay in their homes longer. What do you think about something like that?" Frame the conversation around preserving their independence rather than taking it away. Pick the right time and place. A quiet, private setting when everyone is calm works best. Avoid having serious discussions during holiday gatherings or when either of you is tired or stressed. Listen more than you talk. Ask open-ended questions like, "What concerns do you have about the future?" Or, "How do you envision the next few years?" Then, really listen to their answers. Remember that these aren't one-and-done conversations. It took 6 different talks before my dad agreed to stop driving at night. Patience isn't just helpful, it's essential. Once you've opened the door to these conversations, the next step is figuring out what kind of support your parents actually need. This varies wildly from person to person. For my parents, my mom needed help with memory-related tasks like medication management and appointments, while my dad struggled more with physical limitations but had a sharp mind. Your situation might be completely different. Start by observing daily activities. Can they manage personal care like bathing and dressing? Are they eating regular, nutritious meals? Is their home being maintained? Are bills being paid on time? Are they still socially engaged? A formal assessment from a geriatric care manager can be incredibly helpful, but you can start with your own observations. Look for patterns, not isolated incidents. Everyone forgets things occasionally, but consistent problems might signal a need for support. Create a plan that respects their autonomy while addressing genuine needs. Maybe they just need a weekly meal delivery service and a cleaning person twice a month. Or perhaps they need daily check-ins and help with medications. Document everything. Keep a notebook or digital file with medical information, financial details, legal documents, contact information for neighbors, friends, and community resources. Having this information organized before you need it will save you countless hours of stress later. Trust me on this one. I learned the hard way when my dad was hospitalized unexpectedly, and I couldn't find his medication list or insurance card. Our healthcare system isn't exactly user-friendly, and it gets even more complicated when you're helping manage someone else's care. I spent 3 hours on the phone once, being transferred between departments, just trying to understand why my mom's prescription coverage had changed. First, make sure you have the legal authority to be involved in your parents' health care. This typically means having a healthcare power of attorney or being named as their healthcare proxy. Without this, doctors may not be able to share information with you due to privacy laws. Go to important medical appointments with them when possible. 4 ears are better than 2, especially when complex information is being discussed. Take notes or ask if you can record the conversation for reference later. Create a medication management system that works. This might be a simple pill organizer or a more sophisticated electronic reminder system. Medication errors are among the most common problems for older adults, and they can have serious consequences. Learn the difference between Medicare, Medicare Advantage, Medicaid, and supplemental insurance. I know it's about as fun as watching paint dry, but understanding these distinctions can save thousands of dollars and ensure your parents get the care they need. Don't be afraid to ask questions or challenge decisions that don't seem right. I once questioned a medication that was making my mom extremely dizzy, and it turned out to be an incorrect dosage. Healthcare professionals are experts, but they're also human and can make mistakes. Money conversations are uncomfortable for most families. In many households, finances were never discussed openly, making this territory especially difficult to navigate. Start by understanding their financial situation, income sources, expenses, assets, debts, and insurance coverage. This isn't about taking control. It's about helping them make informed decisions and planning for future needs. Many of us are surprised to learn that Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. That's right. The cost of assisted living, nursing homes, or in-home care aids typically isn't covered. The average monthly cost of assisted living in the U.S. is around $4,500, and nursing homes can exceed $8,000 per month. Look into benefit programs they might qualify for. Veterans benefits for those who served, state-specific programs for seniors, pharmaceutical assistance programs, property tax relief for seniors, SNAP benefits, energy assistance programs. Consider consulting with a financial advisor who specializes in elder care. They can help navigate options like long-term care insurance, reverse mortgages, or life insurance conversions. For my family, we discovered my dad qualified for aid and attendance benefits through the VA, something we would never have known about without researching. That extra $2,000 monthly made a huge difference in affording the care he needed. Where your parents live as they age is a decision influenced by their health needs, financial resources, personal preferences, and available support systems. Many seniors prefer to age in place, staying in their own homes with modifications and support services as needed. This might involve home modifications like grab bars, ramps, or first-floor bedrooms technology like medical alert systems or smart home devices, in-home care services ranging from a few hours weekly to 24/7 support meal delivery, transportation services, and regular housekeeping help. When aging in place isn't feasible, other options include moving in with family members, independent living communities, assisted living facilities, memory care units for those with dementia, skilled nursing facilities. Each option has pros and cons in terms of independence, social engagement, cost, and level of care provided. For my parents, we started with in-home care 3 days a week. As their needs increased, we transitioned to assisted living. It wasn't an easy decision, but it became necessary when my mom's dementia progressed and my dad's physical health declined simultaneously. Visit multiple facilities before making decisions. Pay attention to staff interactions with residents, cleanliness, activities offered, and the overall atmosphere. The most expensive option isn't always the best one. I've seen wonderful care provided in modest facilities where the staff truly cared. Here's something I wish someone had drilled into me from day one. Caregiver burnout is real, and it can happen to anyone. The airlines have it right. You have to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. When I first started caring for my parents, I thought I could do it all. Work full-time, raise my teenagers, maintain my marriage, and take care of my parents' growing needs. 6 months in, I was sleeping 4 hours a night, stress eating and snapping at everyone around me. Something had to give. Caregiving is a marathon, not a sprint. The average caregiver spends 4-8 years in that role. You cannot sustain a pace that's breaking you down. Set boundaries. This might mean scheduling specific days or hours when you're available to help, being clear about what tasks you can and cannot take on, or learning to say no when necessary. Accept help when it's offered. When neighbors or friends say, "Let me know if I can do anything," give them specific tasks. Maybe someone can pick up groceries, sit with your parent while you go to an appointment, or help with yard work. Find support groups, either locally or online. Connecting with others who understand what you're going through can be incredibly validating. They might also have practical solutions to problems you're facing. Schedule regular breaks. Even a few hours away can help reset your perspective. If finances allow, look into respite care services that provide temporary relief for caregivers. Watch for signs of depression or anxiety in yourself. Irritability, changes in sleep or appetite, loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed, or feeling hopeless are all warning signs that should prompt you to seek support. Remember that taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's what enables you to continue caring for your loved ones effectively. As one wise woman in my support group said, "You can't pour from an empty cup." Caring for aging parents often brings long-simmering family dynamics to a boil. The responsible daughter who always lived nearby may resent the son who moved across the country, but has plenty of opinions about care decisions. Old childhood roles and rivalries can resurface under stress. In my family, my sister and I had very different ideas about what was best for our parents. She wanted them to move to assisted living immediately, while I thought we should try in-home care first. Our disagreements weren't really about care options. They were about our different relationships with our parents and our different approaches to problem solving. If possible, hold regular family meetings, in person or virtually, to discuss care needs, divide responsibilities, and make decisions collaboratively. Having these conversations before crises arise makes them much more productive. Be explicit about what each person can contribute, whether it's time, money, or specific skills. Maybe one sibling lives far away but can manage finances remotely, while another can provide hands-on care. Consider bringing in a neutral third party if family conflicts become unmanageable. Geriatric care managers, family therapists, or elder mediators can help facilitate difficult conversations and find compromises. Remember that there's rarely one right answer to elder care challenges. Different perspectives can actually lead to more creative and effective solutions if everyone feels heard and respected. And here's a difficult truth: sometimes family members won't step up equally. You may find yourself shouldering more of the burden than seems fair. In those moments, focus on what you can control, your own actions and boundaries, rather than trying to change others. With all the challenges of supporting aging parents, it's easy to focus solely on problems and tasks. But this time can also hold unexpected gifts and opportunities for connection. Some of my most treasured memories with my parents came during this period. One afternoon, while helping my mom sort old photographs, she shared stories about her childhood that I'd never heard before. Another day, my dad and I watched his favorite old Western movie, and he told me about seeing it in theaters when he was young. Look for ways to continue enjoying activities together, even if they need to be modified. If your mom loved cooking, maybe you can still bake together, with you handling the complicated parts. If your dad was an avid gardener, perhaps container gardening or simply sitting outside identifying plants can still bring him joy. Record their stories if possible. Ask about their childhood, their first job, how they met their spouse. These conversations not only preserve family history, but often bring happiness to older adults who enjoy reminiscing. Celebrate small victories and good days. Maybe your mom participated in an activity at her assisted living facility, or your dad had the energy to go out for lunch. These moments matter. Find humor where you can. Some situations are genuinely funny if you allow yourself to see them that way. My mom once put her dentures in the refrigerator, and after the initial panic of finding them, we had a good laugh together about it. This journey with your parents is, ultimately, a profound act of love. It's not always easy, but it can be deeply meaningful. As one caregiver told me, "I'm not always happy doing this, but I'm always honored to do it." Supporting aging parents is one of the most challenging and meaningful responsibilities many of us will face. It asks us to be patient when we're frustrated, brave when we're scared, and present when we'd rather escape. It confronts us with our parents' mortality and inevitably our own. But here's what I want you to take away from this. You don't have to do it perfectly, and you definitely don't have to do it alone. Start where you are. Maybe that means having one conversation about future wishes, researching local resources, or simply checking in more regularly. Small steps still move you forward. Reach out for support, whether that's to siblings, friends, community resources, or professionals. The Aging Parents Navigation community is here for you too. Our website has downloadable guides, resource directories, and forums where you can connect with others walking this same path. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel. We post new videos every week addressing specific challenges of the caregiving journey, from handling difficult behaviors, to navigating insurance claims, to finding moments of joy amid the hard days. Remember that by showing up for your parents now, you're honoring all the ways they showed up for you. It's not a burden, it's a privilege, even on the days when it doesn't feel like one. Thank you for being here. Until next time, be gentle with your parents, and perhaps more importantly, be gentle with yourself.